It's not often versatility is high on the hit list for a Ferrari, but this car is all about changing perceptions.
It's the Ferrari Portofino, the replacement for the California, the entry level of the Ferrari range, and a car that's tasked with ramping up the excitement for what is a crucial model for the Italian brand. The formula hasn't changed. 2+2-seater folding hardtop, V8 engine up front, and rear-wheel drive.
And it's red, or at least this one is, but not just any red. Now Ferrari does about 100 of them. This one is an all-new one. It's called Rosso Portofino, so it's pretty fitting. But the Portofino is about a lot more than looks. It's about bringing more of that excitement, that Ferrari DNA, that driving performance into a car that you can use every day. You don't have to drive it far though to realise that this is more about Grand Tourer than sports car, and Ferrari doesn't hide that. This isn't one of their true sports cars. That said, it's a sporty machine.
It gets a detuned version of the same basic 3.9 litre twin-turbo V8 used in the 488. Power peaks at 441 kilowatts and the 760 newton metres of torque. Combined with a 7-speed twin-clutch automatic, it'll launch the Portofino to 100 kilometres an hour in 3.5 seconds.
So when you step on it, it goes pretty well. The engine has plenty of that Ferrari excitement, all the way up to 7,500 revs. But the reality is, in most driving, you're going to be using the torque a lot more often. It's got so much of it, so even with light throttle openings, you can build pace amazingly quickly. So while you get the better performance in first, second and third gears, the transmission actually wants to shift up pretty early, so puts you into fourth, fifth, sixth, often seventh, which isn't such a bad thing. You've certainly still got the pull there when you need it. But you do miss out on a little bit of that excitement. Then there's the sound from the exhaust, which is a little bit of a mixed bag. At low revs, you get this drone, and then it sort of opens up another flap in the exhaust and it deepens the burble a little bit. It's not too bad, it sounds purposeful, but it just doesn't have that real V8 meatiness that some people might expect. And the reality is, a lot of the time, you're only going to be pulling 1,500, maybe 2,500 revs. So it doesn't sound that brilliant. Start ramping up the pace though, and things do get a little more exciting. And it is beautifully balanced. Sometimes when you give it a squirt out of a corner, you can feel that rear just squirming around a little bit as it's trying to fight for traction. To some extent, that's the roads we're on here, but it's also a bit of an indication of the performance and the power. One of the big appeals with the Portofino is the roof. Folding hardtop yet again, an all-new design with this one. 14 seconds and you're into fresh air. With the roof down, it's surprisingly comfortable in here. You don't get much buffeting from the wind. It's a really pleasant way to travel. But this is also the practical Ferrari, the everyday Ferrari. Inside you certainly get decent space, at least for two people. People in the back, not entirely sure about that. It's got 5 centimetres more legroom than the California that it replaces, but it is still super tight back there.
So has the Portofino nailed the brief where the California fell a tad flat? Well, from a design perspective, absolutely. It's a terrific looking Ferrari. For many, that will be more than enough. But the Portofino hasn't changed the formula set with that California. Instead, it's about polishing the rough edges to create a sharper, more engaging machine. One that has a fantastic V8 engine, especially when you rev it. That said, it doesn't have the fire and ferocity of Ferrari's full-blown sports cars.